I don't have a problem with Dee-1, but I do have a problem with his message.
People who have been called legends our whole lives just because now that we get older, intelligent minds start to ask ourselves, are these people really legends? And why are they supposed to be called legends? Like, what did they do that was so legendary? And when you start to dissect it and break it down, you realize, man, they're legends at being villains. They're legends at poisoning our community. That's not something to be celebrated. So now you got to call it like it is. And I think that's the era we in right now, is having to call things like they are, because in hip-hop, I think we've been intoxicated with ignorance for so long. Like, if this was a bottle full of ignorance, hip-hop done said, for 30 years straight.
Wow.
Just give me more and more of the ignorance. So then you try to come with some intelligence, and people that are intoxicated with the ignorance, they look at you like you crazy. They look at you like you a hater, like you wrong. And it's like, no, I'm just sober-minded. That's all. I'm not intoxicated with the ignorance.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapps to CLBMG. Gang, listen, I have been pondering this subject for at least a year. I'm just going to be honest. I don't understand the issue with Dee-1 and hip-hop. My whole thing is, I get it that Dee-1 is a quote-unquote spiritual being, a spiritual person. He's living in his truth, and he's living in his own means with his connection with God, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have an issue with a person living their truth and following God and being a messenger of Christ. We all, to some degree, have formed our own religions, our own bonds with religion. We believe what we believe. And Dee-1 is bringing a very, very important message to hip-hop, black people, humankind, and just the earth itself, right? I'm just going to be honest. His message, I get his message, but I believe the message is misguided, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to be here for a while. If you don't got the patience, check out. But I really don't. The message is not the problem. The method of bringing the message is the issue, and I want to discuss it. I just watched Dee-1 on Willie D's podcast, and he kind of alluded to our legends, right? Our rap legends, our hip-hop legends not being legends. According to Dee-1, they've pushed nothing but poison, negativity. They're villains in hip-hop. They are, you almost might as well say they're demonic, and their message is demonic. And I take issue with that. For one, let's just start here. I don't believe that our message in hip-hop, first of all, is not demonic. Let me just start there. The issue with Dee-1's take on our legends not being legends, they're not legends to who? You love hip-hop. First of all, hip-hop been here before you were even involved with it. Hip-hop is a structure, a construct of what happens in our cities and in our towns and in our neighborhoods, what we saw with our own two eyes, how we were treated, how things go down, how things happen every day, the police brutality, the gang violence, the fights. Hip-hop was born of that, right? This is where it started. It started from struggle. It started from trying to do better, trying to report what you're seeing. Dee-1's message, basically what he's saying is, all of that poison is the problem. Now, what I want to say about that, the first things first, the music is a result of the environment. Let me repeat that. The music that Dee-1 is criticizing is a result of the environment. Hip-hop is a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be all preachy, all Christian. Dee-1 is the substitute teacher that wants to come in on day one and tell all the kids they're wrong. All of you kids are wrong for what you're listening to. Listen to what I'm listening to, right? I have an issue with the situation that Dee-1, and listen, I don't have a problem with Dee-1 as a person. He's approaching this issue wrong. Hip hop is not his to say what it can and can't be. Hip hop isn't going to make that neighborhood better or worse. It is what it is. Dee-1's message is, in my opinion, looking at risk youth. This is a message of at-risk youth are listening to this music. They're getting their ideas. They're trying to be rappers. They're trying to do what the music says, and it's poisoning their ears and poisoning their minds, right? The music wouldn't exist without the actions already being in the neighborhood. Let me say that again. The music wouldn't exist without the actions already being in the neighborhood. These at-risk youth neighborhoods, in a lot of ways, are awful. But at the same time, the music is a reflection of that. And the music goes out into the world and lets other people know what's going on in that neighborhood. Everybody's music isn't demonic. The simple fact of the matter is you're questioning people's legend status. First of all, hip-hop is a form of expression. Hip-hop is a proven art form. They have mastered the art form. They've put pen to paper and have made legendary music from nothing. So yes, they are legends. You can't come along and rewrite it now because you're some kind of Christian rapper and you've decided that your music is what God wants. Let me say that again. You can't decide that your music is the only music that God wants. I promise you. God don't just want one kind of music. Okay? Let me just say this again. Dee-1's music is not the only music. There are millions of people. Let's take the average city. Let's take the average urban area. Millions of people there, right? When you talk about the crime and the poverty, when you got a bubble this big, the crime and the poverty is in a small bubble, right? That bubble cannot be made to dictate what everybody else can hear. He's saying that the music the music that's being made is affecting these youths, right? These youths come from a small window. I was from that small window. It does not mean that I can't flourish just because I hear this music. That small bubble of people is a representation of a small community, right? You're basically saying we got to stop all hip hop that doesn't involve good and honest, sweet, kind, intelligent. Everybody, first of all, everybody don't want to hear that. Second of all, it's a lot of people that can handle that. It's a lot of people that can hear, I'm not even going to say a gangster rap, but there's a lot of people who can hear more reality rap, right? We're going to go with the old quote, the old saying, reality rap. There's a lot of people out there that can handle that. There is a small bubble of people, black young people, that will get influenced, but that's a small percentage to say we got to stop doing it all. You can't say Lil Wayne is not a legend. Jay-Z is not a legend. Scarface is not a legend. You're sitting there with Willie D, who is one of the originators of gangster rap, and you telling him his shit is trash. You're basically saying everything you did was poison. Willie D is a product of that environment. You're literally looking at a man who's now a podcaster, but Willie D was a gangster rapper. So you can't say just because the music is made, the music is created, it's going to affect every single person. Like I said, those at-risk youth, they're going to be at risk regardless. And I understand the message. Don't get me wrong. The message is we need to change the way we look at society. Yeah, but the way you're trying to do it, you're trying to belittle these guys' messages. You're trying to belittle these guys' work. You're trying to belittle what we take in our community. You're not speaking for all of us. I'm just going to be honest. You're not speaking for all of us. You're looking at it from the substitute teacher, right? The substitute teacher who comes into class and he wants to make everybody see the way he sees life. That's not how this works. You got to come in that class and adapt to what they're doing. They're not listening to you. That's why so many people are upset with Dee-1. Now, when I say it's a small bubble, we're not talking about excluding those people. But what we're talking about is you're going to have a small percentage of people who are going to get triggered and going to actually act on some of that stuff and try to recreate what these rappers do. That is a fact. That's a fact. I'm being honest. But at the same time, for those few, and it is few, right? Put all of the murders of your city, New Orleans, any city, put them all together, and then look at how many people didn't get murdered. Right? I know some of this stuff is kind of radical. And I know some people are gonna be like, look at all the guns and killing, da-da-da. There's a lot of people that went to school that day and survived. There's a lot of people that went to work. There's a lot of people that ain't doing no gangbanging, ain't doing no drugs. A lot of people sitting in college right now. There's a lot of females that listen to that exact music you're condemning, and they went to become registered nurses, right? They're LPNs. They're working in offices. They're getting degrees. So you can listen to that music and still be productive in society. So we're not going to blame the music. And calling Lil Wayne or these other people, you're saying they're not legends. These guys became millionaires and brought up other millionaires. They're teaching kids to become millionaires. How are they not legends? Tell me, explain it to me. They are legends, Dee-1. They're big time legends, gang. Just gonna be honest. So you're coming in, and I get it, it's no disrespect, but we're gonna have the conversation. You're coming in off this pavement, looking at it from my friend got killed, my this and that, da-da-da. Well, we all got people that got killed. And we still can hear a tough ass song that's talking about some real shit. It don't mean that the world is collapsing. It don't mean that song is demonic. It don't make me demonic. Because I want to hear it. The message is not being received because the simple fact, the way you're doing it, you're pointing fingers and at the same time trying to monetize your Christian style of music or whatever. And I don't think he's calling it Christian, but I'm respectfully going to keep it real. I've been watching for a year or so, 2 years, 3 years. And from day one, when I first became aware of Dee-1 and this stance, it to me, it reeked of a person trying to capitalize. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. It looked like a person latching on to the other gimmick, not the all the way left gangster. It's the other where I'm so righteous you can't understand me and you need to get with me. I'm going to call out everything and everybody. At some point, to me, when somebody's standing on a soapbox too long, I think they got their hand out too. Just going to be honest. I think when I see that preacher on that soapbox, that pulpit, I think he got his hand out too. Just like Lil Baby, just like Cash Money got their hand out too. At some point, it's all gimmicks to me. It's all gimmicks to me. When I saw him come out, who was it? It was something that happened in hip hop. And well, first of all, Dee-1, let's just salute to Dee-1 for trying, right? He's trying to be positive, and I get that. But it's like everything that happens, you got to come out and wag your finger. See, I told y'all, da-da-da. Gang, at some point, it comes off as gimmicky. I'm just going to be honest. And I'm going to, to me, when I look at it, I'm like, when I see the event happen, and then you come on your Instagram, that same night, locking into that event, it starts to feel like the average YouTuber. Just it is what it is. When I saw Kenny shout you on the song and you immediately came back with a record, it to me, it felt, just being honest. Just being honest. It felt like somebody trying to capitalize on the wave. So I get it that you're saying that you're in a lane. That lane ain't that. Listen, that lane ain't that closed off. There's a ton of Christian rappers already doing that. So we're not gonna make it like Dee-1's doing something that don't make no money and he's forcing himself. No, I don't think that. I think what you're doing, gang, and I'm just gonna be honest, I think you're using these rappers for your clout. The rappers that you're pointing at and making them mad and da-da-da. It's the same Charleston White effect. Who would pay attention to Charleston White if he wasn't talking about all these rappers? Who? No one. And I just honestly, I feel Dee-1 heart is low-key in the right place. But me, right? I'm old, gang. And I seen this act 100 times where somebody that's so righteous that they starting to point at everybody else that ain't. and I see where it goes. I see where it goes. I see that me personally, right? And I'm just going, let me get a little information about me, right? I am by far, I curse in my raps, right? I get busy, gang. I'm pen to paper. I'm an MC, right? But when I first started rapping, young age, I wouldn't say a curse word. I had a mantra that I would put Jesus in every rhyme I wrote. I said, I'm gonna say God or Jesus or both in every, I'm gonna put it something, force it in there, da. I was like, my raps are gonna be uplifting. I was like going in the dictionary, finding all these uplifting words. I was literally, my whole thing was that, right? And I'm not gonna blame Cecil, but I'm gonna tell you the story of Cecil. I'm gonna tell you the story of Cecil. This is why I am who I am. Cecil was my man when I was young, right? And Cecil, you a bitch ass nigga. But let me just say that Cecil was my man. Cecil started taking me to church with him and his mom, right? Cecil started to gain my trust with this Christian movement. Cecil told me one day that God wanted me to get rid of all my CDs, all of my magazines, all of my tapes, and all of my videos, my movies, everything, because it wasn't godly and I was doing the wrong thing, and I was going to go to HELL, double L, all that hell and all that good stuff like that there. I gathered all my stuff up in a big trash bag. You know where the story's going. I put it in a trash bag. We had these big ass dumpsters. I live in the projects. We had these big ass dumpsters in my neighborhood. We had big ass dumpsters. Threw my stuff in the thing. Dap Cecil up. Yo, bro, thank you. God bless you. Da. He hit me with the okie doke. I go up in my house just in time to look out the window to see Cecil hopping in the dumpster, taking my bag out, throwing it over his shoulder, and walking home with my stuff. Right? And going forward, we're going to call him bitch ass Cecil. Right? So bitch ass Cecil taught me a real valuable lesson. He said, these niggas will use God against you, gang. They'll do it. So bitch ass Cecil showed me that a guy can pretend to be righteous, holy, and be on your side, and he could be telling you everything that sound good, then he gonna hop in the dumpster and steal your damn CDs and take them home and listen to them. My whole problem with this thing with Dee-1, and again, we need the message to be heard, but I don't like the finger pointing. I don't like the trying to chop down the legends. I don't like the belittling of the rappers that's here, the dudes that's doing good work, because every rhyme, what are you gonna nitpick every rhyme and say, oh, I don't like that part? Shit happens, gang. Stuff happens in the hood. And believe it or not, we're speaking the same language, because yes, drill is too much. But it ain't just drill that you're talking about. You're trying to wipe all of hip hop out. You're trying to rewrite history right here from where you're rapping at. Let's just be honest. If you're saying none of these guys is legend, then who the legend? You? I need Dee-1 to understand. Hip hop gonna be here after you. You need to adapt to what we're doing. We're not gonna adapt to you. I'm just gonna be honest. That's why these guys are getting so mad with you. I'm not getting mad. I see it for what it is. I see that you're wielding this thing like a Harry Potter wand. It's becoming your thing, right? It's like you wave the wand, you point it, that guy is Goobity-Goop, bloop, bloop, bloop. And you just hit him with the wand, and now he's a bad guy, and he's a villain. You calling niggas villains, gang. So my problem is this. Hip-hop is not bad or good, it is what it is. Right? You can't big up Kendrick and make it like everybody else is doing the devil's work. Kendrick, last I heard, Kendrick is cursing. Kendrick is talking about marking niggas out. What we talking about? So this is what I want to say to Dee-1. Listen, none of that stuff is black or white. I don't like when people try to make God black and white. Right? That's a whole nother topic. I don't like when people try to make God this one thing. Everything is just this clean and just is sweet and lovely. No, God will mark you out, gang. Right? But that's a whole different subject. That's a whole different subject. We're not going to get into that. What I want to do is just say this. Hip hop is here. We're not demons and we're not villains because we curse, and we're going to tell you like it is on these streets. They're happening. Until the streets change, hip hop ain't going to change. You're not going to make it into something that it ain't. You're not going to come with this clean cut suit and tie gimmick and try to make us feel like we're doing something wrong. The word is harsh. Life is harsh. You're not going to come and make it like it's not. And you're not going to try to blow smoke up these kids' ass and make it like, oh, just rap about sweet things and life gets sweet. That's not how this works, gang. So this is my message, and I'm going to leave it at this. Dee-1, I understand what you're trying to do, but the way you're trying to do it, you're trying to mark out everybody that did it before you, that did it better than you. Let's just be honest. You keep telling these stories about how you tried to get in the industry and it didn't work, and you tell us about how you changed your life around and this, that, and the third, which is great, and I applaud that. Listen, I need you to understand, I'm not upset with you. I am upset with this constant holier than thou. You ain't got to tell us every single time you speak that you're talking for God. We all got a relationship with God. Every time you do that, you make it like we don't have one. You make it like yours is better than ours, that your connection is stronger than ours. And it's belittling, and it's kind of like insulting. I'm just going to be honest. Just talk to niggas, gang. Just tell us what you want us to know. Stop telling us what God is telling us. God got a different message for all of us. Your connection is different than my connection with him. Just going to be honest with you. It's condescending to keep telling us that we're basically like we're not worthy of where you are. You keep listening to that rap, you listening to that kind of music. What about the music, gang? It's mad stuff going on. We ain't the only one listening to it. A lot of white people listening to it, a lot of Asian people listening to it, a lot of people all over the world is listening to the same music. Are they beneath this? Like, what we talking about? Why the message always like we wrong and everybody else is okay? Are you telling this message to these white people? Or just us? Just the dudes that listen to hip hop? And everybody, and please don't try to say you're trying to save the hood, because everybody listening to rap ain't in the hood. I came from the hood, gang, and I have a business now. I am a self-employed entrepreneur, legally. Everybody I know listen to all the same rap that you're condemning, and every single one of them are grown men that have lived, they have great jobs, they have great lives. So gang, we can hear this music and still live and be okay, and still be righteous. It's just music. Let's just be honest. You're putting a lot of heaviness on this music, making it like, yo, that music, you're condemning it every single day, and it's really not that serious. Like I said in the beginning, there's a small bubble of at-risk youth that should, okay, we need to watch out for them. But we're not going to stop the whole world for them at-risk youth. They're going to be what they are. You could cut the music off right now. They still going to do what they're doing, gang, in the streets. I'm just going to be honest. So you're attacking the wrong thing. Go attack that shit. Go deal with the at-risk youth. You're attacking the music. The music is not just for them. There's a ton of different music. And guess what? Even the at-risk youth not listening to that all every day, all day. Yes, it's going to be some of them all day with the drill, da-da-da. It's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is spit your message and keep it moving. Right now, you're low-key trying to drill the message in, but at the same time, profit off of it. I don't believe that your message is 100% pure. I think you said in the video that you're trying to monetize this stuff. And the minute I hear that, I'm like, here we go. This is the holy roller stuff that I'm talking about. These holy rollers stand up on soapboxes, and then they got their hand out and want the donation. And that's where my problem comes. I don't believe it's organic. And maybe it is, but it can't be organic because you're not talking to us, you're talking at us. And you got a nanny boo-boo attitude about it, and you're making it like, see, I told you guys, da-da-da. Like, it don't feel like you're with us. It feel like you're against us and you're above us. This is why everybody loves Kendrick, because he doesn't act like he's above us. He act like he's right there on the ground with us. Nobody's telling Kendrick he can't come back to the hood. It is a difference. You're going about this wrong. You're finger wagging. You're making it like you guys don't get it. I get it. And until you get it, I'm just going to be over here standing with me and God like God ain't over here with us too. I'm just going to be honest. So on that note, right, I'm going to leave it at this. I don't have no problem. I will speak to Dee-1. I have no problem. But what we're not going to do, you're not going to pander, right? We need a real conversation. I deal with facts. We're going to have a real conversation. We're not going to make it like, I've been sitting here from God. Well, me too, my nigga. So let's start on even ground. You ain't standing here and I'm down here. We both sitting here from God. What we talking about? So say your words, I'm going to say mine, and we're going to be 100 and meet right in the middle. Just going to be honest. When you start saying that, I'm here from God's message, then you're making it like I'm not. I need you to understand, we all got a path we need to walk. We all here and we walk by faith, not by sight, all that good stuff. But we all got certain issues, and all of us are not ready to say, oh yeah, let me just stop cursing, let me stop drinking, let me stop smoking. Don't God accept those people too? Am I bugging out? So sometimes this stuff, it is what it is. Some guys drink, they smoke, they curse, they sin. And they make music about it, and it is what it is. It ain't your place to stop the music. It's the place just to make yours. Just make your music. You're trying to come against everybody else's music. That's not how this works. Stop trying to shut down everybody else's music. Just make yours and just leave it at that. Then see if everybody want to hear it. I think the finger wagging is so everybody can check out your music, and we know that's what it is. We know that's what it is. Right? I'm going to leave it at this. Listen. I don't have no problem with Dee-1 personally. I do have a problem with the holier than thou attitude that seems to come off, and I get it. You probably got an explanation because you're very articulate, you're a very good speaker, but you probably have a way of explaining it out of that. But to me, it looks like a holier than thou attitude, and I'm just going to be honest. I think that message, I get it. You're number 2 on Apple and all that, and that's what the plan was in the first place, right? I feel like you got to have an understanding of what you're dealing with. The message, you're kicking this message and you're continuing it like we're spitting poison and da-da-da. Gang, it ain't poison. This is the music that dudes, we were born into this. We wouldn't have to write these words and say this stuff if they weren't given to us in the first place. We didn't ask for the drugs. We didn't ask for the guns. We didn't ask for the alcohol. The shit was there when we woke up one day. This shit was there. By design, they made sure it was there. So you're making it like we're spitting poison. This is what we got. They gave us this shit. Right? What's the movie? What's the movie? Was it Menace to Society? No. Dead presidents. Get a little nigga a drink. Right? So until yes, we do need to make some changes, but at the end of the day, that's not going to happen overnight, and the damn sure ain't going to happen by you nagging us. So show a little sympathy, empathy, walk with us, stop walking in front of us, saying, I'm going to lead you. You ain't leading us nowhere. Just do what you do, and we'll get there on our own.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
CLB.